You walk into your kitchen thinking it's a place of nourishment. A charming delusion. In reality, your refrigerator is a warehouse of time bombs disguised as food. While you're smartly reading labels for GMOs, your premium fish is burning out your neurons with mercury, and that bag of popcorn is generously fertilizing your body with infertility-causing carcinogens. Evolution didn't prepare your liver to process the chemical waste that is now called health food. We fear muggers in dark alleys, yet we willingly pay to have cyanide, arsenic, and trans fats served up on our tables as delicacies. Marketing has triumphed over the instinct for self-preservation. Today, we're conducting a toxicological audit of your diet. 33 products you consider friends but are slowly digging your grave. Put on your gloves. Fact number 1. There's a little ritual in our lives. Evening. A favorite TV show. We grab a colorful paper bag from the shelf, toss it in the microwave, 3 minutes of waiting to a hypnotic hum, and then we have a full bowl of aromatic popcorn. It's cozy. It's a little celebration. It's almost Hollywood in our own home. Sounds perfect, right? Not so fast. That paper bag is a Trojan horse. Its inside is coated with a special compound. It's there to keep the grease from leaking through. This magic is called perfluorooctanoic acid, or PFOA for short. When the bag heats up, this chemical flies straight into the popcorn and then into our bodies. PFOA is a forever chemical. It doesn't leave. It accumulates. It causes infertility. It triggers cancer. So the next time you're watching John Wick take down his enemies, think about it. Maybe the main villain isn't on the screen. He's sitting quietly in your popcorn bowl, and you're the one who hired him. Fact number 2. Nutmeg. It sounds like something from a tale of Scheherazade. A warm, spicy aroma. A hint of magic in your morning coffee or pastries. We add a pinch and feel like Michelin star chefs. This spice seems made for comfort. It promises warmth and peace, but if you get the dosage just slightly wrong, the fairy tale turns into a Stephen King horror story. Just 2 or 3 teaspoons of this spice and your brain goes on an unauthorized vacation. Hallucinations begin. Reality blurs. Your heart pounds like a marathon runner at the finish line. This isn't just a bad trip. It's acute poisoning. Next on the list, convulsions, panic, and a coma. We've been sold the image of a harmless spice, but it's actually a powerful psychotropic agent in a pretty jar. So when your hand reaches to add another spoonful for flavor, remember, the difference between a culinary masterpiece and a trip to the emergency room is just a couple of grams. Enjoy your latte. Fact number 3. Big-eyed tuna. A symbol of status, a sign of elite consumption. We order it in an expensive restaurant. We feel successful. We're eating healthy fish, full of omega-3s. We think we're investing in our longevity. This isn't some common pollock. This is tuna. Sounds convincing, doesn't it? Now for the truth. Tuna is a long liver of the ocean. It swims for decades, and all those years it acts like a biological sponge. It soaks up all the filth from the water. Its main trophy is mercury. The older and larger the fish, the more of this liquid metal it contains. Mercury isn't just a harmful substance, it's a neurotoxin. It specifically destroys our nerve cells. Neurons die irreversibly. We eat a tuna steak and think about our health. Meanwhile, mercury is throwing a Rammstein-style party in our brain with fire destruction and complete chaos. So our elite dinner is just a very expensive dose of poison. Enjoy your meal, aristocrats. Fact number 4. Summer. Sunshine. We're sitting in the garden, eating juicy cherries or sweet apricots. It's the taste of childhood. It's vitamins. It's pure goodness. And the pits, we either spit them out or if we've read some smart advice, we start to chew on them. Because we were told they contain healthy kernels. A source of vitamin B17. A cure for all diseases. Seriously? You believed that? Inside these pits is a substance called amygdalin. By itself, it's harmless. But as soon as amygdalin enters our stomach, it reacts with the acid and turns into hydrogen cyanide. Yes, that's cyanide. The classic poison from spy movies. An adult's body can handle a microdose. But if a child chews just a handful of these healthy kernels, the ending will be tragic. We chase after mythical vitamins. But in reality, we're feeding our children a real chemical weapon. This isn't just foolishness. It's playing Russian roulette at the kitchen table. Fact number 5. Rhubarb. Its stalks are a summer dessert. Pies, jellies, jams. A sweet and sour taste that's impossible to forget. We consider it a healthy plant from our garden. After all, it's not some chemical from the supermarket. It's homegrown. We're 100% sure of its safety. But in this barrel of honey, there's a spoonful of poison. And it's not a spoon, it's a whole ladle. The poison is the rhubarb leaves. While we enjoy the stalks, its leaves accumulate oxalic acid. And they don't just accumulate it, they reach a lethal concentration. Once in the body, this acid forms crystals. These crystals literally clog our kidneys. They scratch them from the inside. They cause acute renal failure. Just a few eaten leaves and our internal filters turn into a bloody mess. We were sold the image of a cute garden plant, but it's actually a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde monster. Delicious stalks and killer leaves on the same bush. Good luck with your compote. Fact number 6. On the counter, there's 2 types of salmon. One is pale, unremarkable. That's the wild one. The other is bright orange, juicy, like something out of a picture. That's the farmed one. Of course, we choose the prettier one. It looks more appetizing. It promises a taste of paradise. We pay more for this beauty. We think we're buying a premium product, but it's a grand deception. That perfect orange color is fake. It's achieved with a dye. It's called canthaxanthin. In the wild, salmon eat krill and turn pink. On a farm, they are fed pellets with paint. It's as if we were painting a chicken with watercolors before roasting it. But that's not all. To keep the fish from getting sick in crowded pens, they're pumped full of antibiotics. Farmed salmon is the most toxic food in the entire fish department. It's a fatty cocktail of dyes, antibiotics, and pesticides. We buy a pretty picture, and we get a ticket for slow poisoning. This isn't fish. It's a replica of a fish from a chemical lab. Fact number 7. Fat-free yogurt. The citadel of health food devotees. 0% fat. Lightness. Good for your figure. We eat it for breakfast and feel like fitness goddesses. We're losing weight. We're cleansing our bodies. We're making the right choice. Or so we think. Now, let's use our brains. The manufacturer removed the fat from the yogurt. But fat is what carries flavor. Without it, the product becomes like wallpaper paste. Nobody would eat it. So what does the manufacturer do? They compensate for the taste. And they do it in the cheapest way possible. They add sugar. A lot of sugar. A whole lot of sugar. A single small cup of healthy yogurt has more sugar than a glazed donut. We think we're giving up fat, but we're actually getting a horse-sized dose of fructose. It hits our pancreas hard. It turns into fat in our liver. Our diet breakfast is a slow-motion sugar bomb. Congratulations, you've just been tricked in the most elegant way. Fact number 8. Brazil nuts. An exotic guest from the Amazon jungle. Large, oily, with a delicate flavor. We're told it's a superfood. A source of selenium. And selenium means youth, beauty, and protection against cancer. We buy a whole bag. We snack on them in front of the TV instead of chips. We feel ourselves filling up with health. We're sure we're giving our body a huge gift. Sounds wonderful if you don't know one detail. The Brazil nut is the absolute world champion in selenium content. It absorbs it from the soil in incredible amounts. Just one nut meets the daily requirement. And what if you eat a whole bag at once? Then you don't get a benefit, you get toxic poisoning. It's called selenosis. The symptoms include nausea, hair loss, and tooth decay. In severe cases, paralysis and death. We wanted an elixir of youth. And we got a dose of poison worthy of the Borgia family's arsenal. This nut is like a superhero who can't control his powers. And he strikes indiscriminately, including at us. Fact number 9. Carambola, or star fruit. It looks like a prop from a science fiction movie. Bright yellow with perfect edges. When sliced, it's a 5-pointed star. It's a decoration for any table. It's exotic. It's the taste of the tropics. We try it and feel like travelers. We think it's just a beautiful and harmless fruit. But for some people, this star can become a guiding star to the afterlife. Carambola contains a powerful neurotoxin. If a person has healthy kidneys, they will easily filter out and remove this poison. The person won't even notice anything. But if the kidneys are diseased, if there's even a hint of renal insufficiency, they can't handle it. The neurotoxin stays in the body. It attacks the brain. Hiccups, vomiting, and confusion begin. And then a coma and death. For a person with bad kidneys, one such fruit is a death sentence. We were sold a beautiful cover, but they forgot to warn us about the contents. This is a fruit with a false bottom. And for some, it's the last one. Fact number 10. Margarine. It was created as a cheap substitute for butter. Food for the poor. Then marketers pulled off a brilliant trick. They claimed that margarine has no cholesterol, and they sold it to us as a healthy product for the heart. We believed them. We started spreading this plastic-like fat on our bread. We thought we were taking care of our arteries. What irony! Margarine is a source of trans fats. These are freak molecules. They are made by passing hydrogen through liquid vegetable oil. Our body doesn't know what to do with them. It has no enzymes to break them down. These trans fats aren't digested. They get incorporated into our cell membranes. They literally wall them in. The cell stops breathing. It stops receiving nutrients. It becomes inflamed. We thought we were eating healthy food, but in reality, we were slowly turning our cells into plastic garbage. Margarine is the triumph of marketing over common sense and over our health. Fact number 11. Packaged juices. We see them in commercials. A happy family on a lawn, children drinking juice from glasses. Everyone is smiling. We're told it's vitamins. It's the energy of the sun. It's 100% fruit. We believe it. We buy these beautiful cartons. We give them to our children. We think it's healthier than soda. But this is one of the biggest scams in the history of the food industry. Packaged juice is sugar syrup with flavoring. Yes, it's based on fructose. But the most important thing has been removed from it: fiber. Fiber slows down the absorption of sugar. Without it, fructose flies straight to our liver. The liver can't process such a flood, and it turns the excess into fat. This causes non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or more simply, obesity of the liver. Hepatosis from juice develops faster than from alcohol. We give our child healthy juice, but in reality, we're putting their liver through a session of hardcore alcoholism without a single drop of alcohol. Fact number 12. Raw cashew nuts. We love them for their delicate, creamy taste. They're the perfect snack. Healthy fats, protein, vitamins. We buy a bag at the store labeled raw cashews, and we think we're eating the nut in its natural state. What, feeling like a snack already? Hold on, don't rush. What we buy is not a raw cashew. It's a cashew that has been heat-treated. And thank goodness for that, because a truly raw cashew is deadly poisonous. Between the shell and the kernel of the nut is a caustic oil. It contains urushiol. This is the same substance found in poison ivy. On contact with the skin, it causes severe chemical burns. And if you eat such a nut, urushiol will cause an anaphylactic shock. The larynx will begin to swell, and the person will suffocate in a few minutes. Workers in Asia who shell these nuts by hand suffer terrible injuries. We eat a tasty nut, and somewhere, for our sake, a person is burning their hands. Our harmless snack is the result of a very dangerous production process. Enjoy. What, starting to feel an itch? Feel like throwing all the food out of your fridge? Want to burn your kitchen cabinets and live on sunlight? Wait, don't run for the tranquilizers. This was just the warm-up. We've barely touched the tip of the iceberg. It's only going to get more interesting. We're going down to the lowest shelves of the supermarket, to where the most cunning enemies are hiding. So take a deep breath, pour yourself a glass of clean water, and get ready. We are continuing our dive into the matrix of the food industry. Fact number 13. Canned tomatoes. The base for bolognese sauce, the foundation for pizza. Convenient, fast, delicious. We open a can and think we're using almost fresh tomatoes. After all, canning preserves all the good stuff. It seems like a great alternative to those plastic-like winter vegetables. But there's a catch. Its name is bisphenol A. This is the substance that lines the inside of tin cans. It protects the metal from corrosion. Tomatoes are a very acidic product. Their acid slowly but surely eats away at this lining. Bisphenol A leaches into the tomato paste and then into our bodies. And what is bisphenol? It's a synthetic estrogen. It disrupts our hormonal system. It mimics female hormones. In men, this leads to potency problems. In women, to an increased risk of breast cancer. We're making pasta for the whole family, but we're actually feeding them a hormonal poison from a tin can. Fact number 14. Soy sauce. A drop of Asia in our kitchen. We pour it on sushi. Add it to noodles. It gives dishes that special umami flavor. We think we're touching an ancient culture. After all, real soy sauce is a product of long fermentation. Soybeans, wheat, salt, water, months and years of fermentation. It's a living, healthy product. But what's on our store shelves for a couple of bucks has nothing to do with it. Cheap soy sauce is a chemical substitute. It's made in a few hours. They take soy protein, pour hydrochloric acid over it, heat it up. This process is called acid hydrolysis. A byproduct is formed as a result of this barbaric method. It's called 3-MCPD. The World Health Organization classifies it as a possible human carcinogen. We thought we were buying an exotic condiment, but we bought a bottle of hydrolyzed protein and a carcinogen. This isn't sauce, it's a mockery of it. Fact number 15. We've decided to fry some potatoes or some cutlets. We take a frying pan. We pour sunflower oil on it, a lot of it, so that it sizzles. The smell of frying spreads throughout the apartment. It's the smell of home, the smell of comfort. We consider sunflower oil to be our national product. Cheap and cheerful, we've been frying with it for decades, and we don't see any problem. But there is a problem, and it's huge. Vegetable oils rich in polyunsaturated fats are terribly unstable. When heated strongly, they oxidize, and they release a whole cloud of toxic substances. They're called aldehydes. These compounds are far more dangerous than trans fats. They promote inflammation in the body. They increase the risk of cancer. They are linked to Alzheimer's disease. We are frying a golden brown crust on our potatoes, and at the same time, a chemical attack is happening in our kitchen. We are creating poison ourselves and happily eating it. Our frying pan is a small chemical reactor, and we are both the lab technician and the guinea pig at the same time. Fact number 16. Puffed rice cakes. We see slim girls buying them. We read on the package, fitness, light, 0 calories. We decide that this is the perfect replacement for bread. We start crunching on these styrofoam-like discs. We feel like saints. We are on the path to a perfect body. We have conquered hunger and calories. It's an illusion, pure self-deception. To understand what rice cakes are, you need to know about the glycemic index. This is an indicator of how quickly a product raises blood sugar levels. Well, sugar has a glycemic index of 70, and puffed rice cakes have a glycemic index of 91, higher than pure sugar, higher than white bread. When we eat such a rice cake, our insulin skyrockets. It tries to utilize this sugar hit, and then it drops just as sharply, causing ravenous hunger. We thought we were losing weight, but in reality, we were swinging our insulin levels like on a swing set, promoting fat storage. These rice cakes are not a diet. They are a direct path to diabetes in a pretty package. Fact number 17. Processed meats. Sausage, hot dogs, bacon, ham. This is our fast food. Our morning sandwich. Our lifesaver when we're too lazy to cook. We've been eating this since childhood. We can't imagine life without these products. For us, it's just food. But for the World Health Organization, it's not. In 2015, the WHO officially delivered its verdict. Processed meat was included in the first group of carcinogens. Do you know what else is in this group? Asbestos, arsenic, plutonium, and cigarettes. Yes, you heard that right. Eating a hot dog is roughly the same as smoking a cigarette. The nitrates and nitrites, which are added for color and preservation, turn into nitrosamines in our stomach, and these are direct instigators of colon cancer. We make our child a sausage sandwich for school, but in fact we're giving them a sandwich with plutonium, just without the radiation. For now. Fact number 18. Honey. Liquid gold. A gift from nature. We eat it when we're sick. We add it to tea instead of sugar. We are confident in its 100% benefit, especially if the honey is raw, unpasteurized, bought from a trusted beekeeper. After all, that's a guarantee of quality. It means all the vitamins are intact. Sounds logical, but there is a deadly loophole in this logic. Sometimes bees collect nectar from poisonous plants, for example, from rhododendrons or azaleas. The nectar of these flowers contains gray anotoxin. This poison is not destroyed in the bee's body. It gets into the honey. If you eat such honey, poisoning occurs. The ancient Greeks called it mad honey disease. Dizziness, vomiting, and weakness begin. The person behaves inadequately. In large doses, such honey can kill. We chase after naturalness, and we get a lottery where you can win a trip to the toxicology department. Pasteurization destroys this toxin. But we want a living product. Well, sometimes it turns out to be a little too alive. Fact number 19. Bouillon cubes. Little squares of concentrated flavor. Drop one into boiling water and you have a ready-made chicken soup. It's magic. It's a lifesaver for those who have no time. We think it's just dried broth. Convenient and practical. But if you read the ingredients, the magic disappears. In first place will be salt. In second, monosodium glutamate. It's a flavor enhancer. It tricks our receptors. It makes them taste flavor where there is none. And then hydrogenated fats, the very same trans fats we've already talked about. Essentially, a bouillon cube is a concentrate of salt, MSG, and trans fats. It has nothing in common with real broth. It's a chemical flavor simulator. Constant consumption of glutamate is linked to the risk of developing neurodegenerative diseases. We wanted to save time on making soup, and in the end, we're investing in our future Alzheimer's. A brilliant trade-off. Fact number 20. We bought potatoes at the market, brought them home. We start peeling them and see that some tubers are greenish or have already sprouted. What do? Right? We just cut off the green part and calmly continue cooking. We think it's just potatoes that got a tan in the sun. No big deal. But this green pigmentation is an alarm signal. The green color is chlorophyll, but along with it, under the influence of light, solanine is produced in the potato. This is a natural poison. The plant needs it to protect itself from pests. Solanine is not destroyed by boiling or frying. If you eat a lot of such potatoes, you can get serious poisoning. It suppresses our nervous system. It causes nausea and headaches. In the old days, even fatal cases were recorded. We're pinching pennies. We cut off the green part. But in reality, we're playing with our health. Sometimes it's better to throw out one potato than to have to treat your entire nervous system later. Fact number 21. Red kidney beans. An excellent source of plant-based protein, the basis for lobio and chili con carne. We know that they need to be soaked and boiled for a long time, but sometimes we're in a hurry, or we just weren't paying attention. The beans seem soft, but inside they are still a bit raw. We think no big deal, they'll finish cooking in the stomach. But this is a fatal mistake. Raw and undercooked red kidney beans contain a toxic protein. It's called phytohemagglutinin. This substance causes red blood cells to clump together. It's enough to eat just 5 raw or undercooked beans to get severe poisoning. Uncontrollable vomiting begins. Sharp abdominal pain. Hospitalization is often required to get a person out of this state. We were too lazy to boil the beans for an extra 30 minutes. And as a result, we got poisoning comparable to the effect of a combat toxin. This isn't food. It's a biological weapon if handled incorrectly. Fact number 22. Rice cakes and just plain rice. The staple food for half of humanity. In Asia, they eat it every day. We consider it a diet product, a light side dish, safe and hypoallergenic. We give rice porridge to small children. We are confident in its purity. But there is one problem that is not usually talked about. Rice is a champion at accumulating arsenic. It absorbs it from the soil and water like a sponge, much more actively than other grains. The concentration of inorganic arsenic in rice can be 10 times higher than in oats or barley. Arsenic is a poison and a carcinogen. It won't kill us instantly, but with constant consumption of rice, it accumulates in the body, increasing the risk of developing lung, skin, and bladder cancer. We eat a clean product. But in reality, we're slowly increasing the level of arsenic in our blood. It's like a plot from a slow poisoning movie. Only we are the victims. Okay, stop. Let's take a break. I can see your eyes widening. Your hand reaching for your phone to Google symptoms of arsenic poisoning. Calm down. You're still alive. You've listened this far. And that means you have nerves of steel. Or you just love horror movies. I congratulate you. You belong to an elite club of people who prefer the bitter truth to a sweet lie. Most people would have already turned this off. They would have run to stress eat some fat-free yogurt. But you stayed. You are awesome. So pull yourself together. The final push is ahead. The most sophisticated killers are still waiting for their moment. Fact number 23. Sprouts. Small sprouts of alfalfa, mung beans, soy. They are added to salads and sandwiches. They look fresh and very healthy. It's concentrated life. Vitamins in their most active phase. We think this is the pinnacle of healthy eating, but in reality it's Russian roulette with bacteria. The conditions in which seeds are sprouted, warmth and humidity, are a perfect incubator. But not just for sprouts, but also for Salmonella, E. coli and Listeria. These bacteria don't live on the surface. They penetrate inside the seed. They can't be washed off with water. No matter how much we wash these sprouts, we won't get rid of the infection. Every year, dozens of poisoning outbreaks around the world are linked specifically to sprouts. We're eating a health salad, and we're getting a chance to win sepsis. Fact number 24. Energy drinks. A bright can, a bold name, the promise of wings and superpowers. Students drink them before exams. Drivers on long trips. Teenagers at parties. They think it's just soda with caffeine, a way to cheer up and overcome fatigue. But it's a Molotov cocktail for our cardiovascular system. A hellish mix of gigantic doses of caffeine, sugar, and taurine. Caffeine sharply constricts blood vessels and raises blood pressure. Sugar hits the pancreas. Taurine makes the heart beat at a frantic pace. For an adult body, this is a serious stress. And for a teenager whose cardiovascular system is not yet fully formed, it can be fatal. Sudden cardiac arrest in young people after a few cans of an energy drink is no longer a rarity. It's a grim medical statistic. We are sold energy in a can, but in fact, it's a one-way ticket to the cardiology department. Fact number 25. Processed cheese. Tender slices in individual packaging. Perfect for a morning toast or a burger. It melts so well. It's so creamy. We think it's just a convenient form of regular cheese. But it's not. Processed cheese is not cheese. It's a cheese product. Its base is low-quality cheeses, scraps, unsellable stock. All of this is melted down. They add milk fat, whey, and emulsifiers. And the main secret ingredient is emulsifying salts, most often phosphates. They are needed to make the mass homogeneous and prevent it from separating. But phosphates in large quantities are evil. They disrupt the calcium balance in our body. They interfere with calcium absorption. And they even wash it out of our bones. We eat a cheese sandwich thinking we're getting calcium. But in reality, we are slowly destroying our bones, making them brittle and fragile. This is not cheese. This is anti-cheese. Fact number 26. Peanuts. A popular snack. Salted, roasted, glazed. We crunch on them with beer. We add peanut butter to sandwiches. It's filling, cheap, and supposedly healthy. Plant-based protein and all that. But peanuts have a dark side. They are very prone to mold. Peanuts grow in the ground in a warm, humid climate. These are ideal conditions for the growth of the Aspergillus fungus. This fungus produces one of the most potent poisons in the world. It's called aflatoxin. It is a powerful carcinogen. It hits the target precisely, our liver, causing cirrhosis and cancer. The scariest part is that aflatoxin has no taste or smell. It's impossible to detect by eye. It is not destroyed by roasting. We can eat a handful of contaminated peanuts and not even notice. We thought they were just nuts. But they could be a dose of a silent killer, one that will leave no trace except for a note in a medical record. Fact number 27. Raw oysters, a delicacy, an aphrodisiac, the taste of the sea. We order them in a restaurant, squeeze a lemon over them, swallow them whole, and feel like gourmets. We think it's pure pleasure and benefit, zinc, protein, minerals. But we forget what kind of world we live in. The world's oceans are warming, that's a fact. And warm water is a paradise for bacteria. In particular for bacteria of the Vibrio genus. These microbes live in coastal waters. They get into oysters, which are natural filters. They're harmless to the oyster itself. But for a person who eats it raw, they can be deadly. The bacterium Vibrio vulnificus causes severe sepsis, blood poisoning. The infection develops with lightning speed. A person can be gone within 48 hours. Such cases used to be rare, but with the warming of the ocean, they have become more frequent. Our exquisite delicacy has turned into a lottery, where our life is at stake. Fact number 28. Breakfast cereals, colorful balls, rings, flakes. Kids love them. Parents buy them because it's so easy. Pour them into a bowl, add milk, and breakfast is ready. The box has cheerful animals on it, and it says, fortified with vitamins. It seems to us that this is a healthy and balanced start to the day, but let's take off the rose-colored glasses. Breakfast cereal is a dessert disguised as food. Its base is processed grain, most often corn or rice flour. These are empty, fast carbohydrates. All the benefit has been taken from them. Then this flour is mixed with sugar, syrup, and dyes, formed into balls, and baked at a high temperature. The result is a product with a sky-high glycemic index. It's just sugar coated with sugar. When a child eats this for breakfast, their blood glucose level skyrockets, and then it drops sharply. This is a direct path to insulin resistance and to diabetes in the future. We feed our children candy for breakfast, and we wonder why they can't concentrate in school. Fact number 29. Mushrooms picked by the roadside, the quiet hunt, a walk in the woods, the excitement and joy of finding a porcini mushroom. We think this is the purest and most natural food, a gift from nature. We bring a full basket home, fry it with potatoes, and enjoy the unique taste. But there is one rule that many people break. Never pick mushrooms near a highway. A mushroom is not a plant. It is a separate kingdom. And at its core, the mycelium is a giant natural filter. It absorbs everything from the soil, like a sponge. If a mushroom grows next to a busy road, it absorbs heavy metals from the exhaust fumes. Lead, cadmium, mercury. One such beautiful porcini mushroom can contain the entire periodic table. We think we are eating a forest delicacy, but in reality, we are consuming a concentrate of industrial waste. This mushroom may look perfect, but inside, it's a toxic bomb. Fact number 30. Cinnamon, the scent of Christmas, the soul of apple pie. We add it to coffee and buns. We believe in its healing properties. After all, it lowers blood sugar. It's an antioxidant. We buy a packet of ground cinnamon at the store, and we generously sprinkle it on everything, but most likely we are not buying cinnamon. But it's cheap imitation. Real cinnamon is Ceylon cinnamon. It's expensive. What is sold in our stores as cinnamon is cassia. It's also called Indonesian cinnamon. Outwardly, they look similar, but cassia contains a huge amount of a substance called coumarin. In Ceylon cinnamon, there is almost none. Coumarin is safe in small doses, but in large doses, it is toxic to our liver. It can cause hepatitis. In Europe, there are strict regulations on the content of coumarin in products. We don't have them. We think we are healing ourselves. But in reality, we are slowly killing our liver with a cheap fake disguised as medicine. Fact number 31. Licorice candy. Black, chewy, with a specific taste. Some people love it, some hate it. It seems like a harmless sweet, made from licorice root. And licorice root is a medicinal plant. It helps with coughs. So, the candies must be healthy too. That's the logic. But an overdose of black licorice can be deadly. Licorice root contains glyceric acid. This substance strongly affects our water-salt balance. It retains sodium and excretes potassium. If the potassium level in the blood drops too low, it leads to a dangerous arrhythmia. The heart begins to beat chaotically, and it can stop. Just 2 weeks of daily consumption of 50 grams of black licorice is enough for a healthy person to end up in the hospital with a heart attack. We're eating candy, and our heart at that moment is begging for mercy. Fact number 32. Grapeseed oil. It sounds very refined, light, almost odorless. Perfect for salad dressings. We are told that it's full of antioxidants, that it's healthier than sunflower oil. We buy a beautiful bottle and feel like we're part of high cuisine, but we don't ask ourselves one question. How is oil extracted from a tiny grapeseed? There's a minuscule amount of it. The answer is simple. Most often the method of chemical extraction is used. The seeds are doused with a solvent. Usually it's hexane. Hexane is a petroleum refining product, a strong neurotoxin. It dissolves the oil. Then the hexane is evaporated, but traces of it still remain in the final product. We dress our healthy salad with oil, and along with it, we get a microdose of a neurotoxic solvent. Of course, there is cold-pressed oil, but it costs as much as an airplane wing. And what's in the supermarket is a greeting from the oil refinery. Fact number 33. Water from a plastic bottle that has been left in the sun. A common situation in the summer. We left a bottle in the car or on the beach. The water got warm. We come back tormented by thirst, and we drink this warm water. We think it's just water. Nothing happened to it. But that's not true. The plastic that bottles are made of is not an inert material. When heated, it begins to release chemicals into the water. Firstly, antimony. It's a semi-metal used as a catalyst in plastic production. Antimony is toxic. Secondly, phthalates. They are added to make plastic flexible. Phthalates are hormone disruptors. They interfere with the work of our endocrine system. We just wanted a drink of water, and we got a chemical cocktail that messes with our hormones. Our car in the sun turns into a chemical laboratory, and we voluntarily drink its products. So, what's the bottom line? Our world is a giant supermarket, and we are confused shoppers with a cart. We are blinded by bright packaging. We are hypnotized by advertising slogans. We are led by the nose through a maze of shelves, being slipped poison disguised as food. We have been sold the idea that taking care of our health is about buying the right products. But that's a lie. Taking care of your health is about turning on your brain. It's the ability to read labels. It's the ability to distinguish truth from marketing nonsense. Stop being obedient consumers. It's time to become partisans, partisans of common sense. Start asking questions, start doubting, and maybe then our bodies will have a chance to survive this food war. And now, for the most important part, there is a button below this video. It's red, like farmed salmon. Click on it to make it turn gray, like the brain of someone who ate too much tuna. And write in the comments what other killer product you know of. Let's assemble fact number 34 together. See you in a new, more honest world.